Hi guys, welcome to the Taphouse.
Taphouse.
Hi guys, welcome to Taphouse Podcast where we rate beers and you rate us. And I'm your host D.
And I'm Kay, coming back out for a little bit. Just had to come back because this guy over here was losing his mind.
I mean, look, we literally came from work, so we're just gonna get right into the beer. What beer do we have on tap?
Well, today we're going right back to the Martin House, because they never do us dirty.
First of all, we're a fan. As you can see in the background, one of the strongest they had is Karen, which is 16% alcohol by volume. But let's go ahead and get to this beer real quick.
This one is called KOKYTUS. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know, but it's a rye whiskey barrel aged imperial stout with cocoa nibs, and this one clocks in at around 14% ABV. And as you can see, it's got a crazy looking demon on the front.
I love the artwork. I think they all hired the same guy, possibly.
I don't know who does. Yeah, I don't know who does their
digital
art.
Yeah, their cover art. But I really say, I gotta say this much. It's amazing whoever you are, and if you are the same person who does all the other artwork, man, congrats, because I love the art on these specials.
Yeah, they're always good. But a little bit about this beer is a little backstory on why it's called this. The river KOKYTUS is a cold and dismal place in Dante's Inferno.
Is that the second one they had? Because I know Karen was also Dante's. No, sorry.
Karen is the boat. Boat and the boatman that carries the souls on the river Styx.
Yes.
This is Dante's Inferno, which is a poem.
I never knew it was an actual poem. Like, I thought it was an actual story, like a full-fledged story.
Well, it is a story, but it was written back in the day. And back in the day, they wrote, and in poems. But it's a good.
I just realized that back then they romanticized death more.
I mean,
I don't know.
They were dying all the time.
That's true.
But anyways, it's a treacherous body of water and ice that surrounds Hades and has trapped thousands of souls. At Martin House, KOKYTUS is our intense barrel-aged imperial stout with cocoa nibs. This 2020 version clocks in at 14%. We aged this brew for 3.5 months in rye whiskey barrels to balance out the aggressive barrel flavor. Cocoa nibs were added. This beer is not to be taken lightly. It's said that the river is the main resting place for traitors and wrongdoers. One thing is for sure, you do not want to turn your back on KOKYTUS. So hopefully we're not doing anything wrong. Hopefully we don't betray anybody, and because
if we do, we're gonna go to what is that which circle is it that he's at? Right? How many circles does Dante's Inferno have?
Dante has 9 or 7. Don't quote me on that, because I could never get through the whole poem. Here's your beer.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm really goddamn thirsty. Oh my gosh, this is a very beautiful can. Jesus Christ, this is amazing. Like, if you could, I don't know Martin House Brewery, but if you could get this as a portrait, I would totally buy the shit out of this. Like, metal portrait. Like, what are those they sell that it's metal kind of, and it's like, what's it called?
Metallic canvases.
Yeah, metallic canvases. Like, this would be perfect for that. Let me go ahead and go up there real quick and show the viewers real quick. But you keep talking about the beer, see what's ABV and all that stuff, and I'm gonna go ahead and pour the beer over there.
Your dogs are all over me.
They are. Let me get them out the way.
I don't want to step them, but it looks like it's got a little bit. There's a little bit more stuff on the bottle. It's got specialty malts, Columbus hops, and brown sugar is also a part of this beer. And I don't know if they're still doing it, but if you go to them, to the brewery, if you're local to the Fort Worth area, DFW area, they were doing a special. If you buy the beer, you get this cool glass for free, and it's got their logo in there, and it's got the ska, so it's a pretty good deal there. And Of course, it's $12.99 for the box, which is it's a little pricey, but hey, it's a limited release. So
It's never always good to just waste money on limited releases. But let's go ahead and enjoy this, guys. Cheers. I'm gonna go pour it up there for y'all, homies.
it's pitch black, like oh man, you can't even see the lights through it. That's how dark it is. It is as dark as the river, as KOKYTUS. It's
Oh shit.
like even if we
What the hell?
I'm holding it up to the light and no light pierces through. It's like tar. That's
Okay, it's gonna sound so weird, right? So weird, but when I was recording doing the pour, a little drop went into my mouth, and that was the most flavorful taste. Like it was, wow, it was really good. I mean, that was just a drop. So let me go ahead and get into the. Well, let me see how it smells.
it smells like a regular stout. It
does.
I'm not gonna lie. It's got the regular stout smell, which is that malty sweet goodness. You know,
it's those bourbon barrels.
Yep. And
Wait, did it say it wasn't in a bourbon barrel?
no, it's in a rye whiskey barrel.
It's all barrels, anyways.
But it smells the same. But well, let's.
It's a
check out the
good
taste.
notes. It has good, strong
Yeah.
notes. That's what I like about stouts, and especially these things.
Whoa.
Ooh, ooh, that goes down really strong.
It's
But it's at the end. The end
it's smooth. It's like a really tough punch at the beginning, and then it goes down smooth.
But yeah, it's so crazy how this one. And I'm excited because I've never had a finishing. Whenever you finish the beer with the sip, there's a lot of flavor at the end.
There is
a ton
and
of flavor.
The coca the what's it
The
called?
coconut, or what's it called?
The cocoa nibs, which is just like unrefined before chocolate gets made. It comes from cocoa nibs. You can taste it, like it's like that really intense dark chocolate, like those people, the people out there that like dark chocolate that's like 95% or whatever, because that's like really intense bitter, pretty much like no sweet at all. You can really taste that at the end. You can taste that chocolate melt. It's like it's hard to describe.
I get it, because what I'm feeling is I could taste the dark chocolate, but also there's this weird flavor. What I from not reading the box, right? But there's this certain sweetness that goes at the end. I don't know what that is.
Sugar. There's brown
sugar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I wasn't listening to you because I was trying to take care of the dogs.
Yeah,
but
there's some brown sugar.
Yeah, it's an odd, weird sweetness that really goes well with the cocoa. What is it called? The
Cocoa nibs.
cocoa nibs. I don't know why I thought it was coconut.
No.
I was like, what coconut with chocolate?
And it's got like a fast bite, and then it just melts into like chocolate, like dark chocolate.
And imagine the chocolate sizzling in your tongue and on top of your roof of your mouth, and it just stays there. It's like toxicity, not in a bad way, but like thickness. It's like a thick layer of a flavor that stays on top of your roof, of your mouth.
Very, very velvety.
Yes.
And this is apparently, I was reading on their Instagram. You guys should follow them. The Martin House Brewery.
I already do.
And
oh, okay.
And
stronger. Goddamn.
I was reading on there that saying that this is one of the very few limiteds that they bring back, because usually their limiteds are one time only, and they'll never bring them back. But this is their third iteration, and I can see why, because it is pretty good.
It's not for the faint. Again, like it's not, if you're not if you're a casual drinker and you have never drank stouts, you're not gonna like this. I don't think so. I mean, it'd be surprising.
I don't know. Maybe because it doesn't have that.
Fuck.
It doesn't have that taste that very malty bitterness of that a regular stout does. It has the initial hit, because I'm guessing coming from the rye whiskey barrels, and of course because of the high ABVs. But then, like I said, it just melts. It has like chocolate.
It has a second late hit that gets you. Once you stop drinking it, out of nowhere, another freaking layer of alcohol comes out through your mouth, and you're just like, oh shit, did I sip beer again? Nah, I didn't. It was just the aftershock.
It's a good beer.
I don't know. I think, like I said, if you love stouts, this is a beer you should taste and you should enjoy.
And once again, Martin House delivers on those limited. You guys. Hey, come on, follow us. Just kidding.
No, you just cut that out. Cut that out. That's ridiculous. No, you know what? I honestly, you haven't failed me when it comes to specials. I think all of them that I had were very well done. There's some, but like I said,
I didn't get to try the Karen. So
the Karen one,
I can't speak for that.
I mean, we don't want to, because it's not the Karen's review right now, but we did review Karen. So if you want to check that out, we do have that. I guess I'll link it down. Fuck. But anyways, well, for me, and I guess for Kay, what do you think this rating should be?
Definitely a yay on my end.
Yeah, so for me, it's going to be a yay too. So if y'all want to go ahead and check them out, Martin House Brewery, they have here KOKYTUS. What is it called?
KOKYTUS?
KOKYTUS.
I'm pronouncing it KOKYTUS. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Comment down below.
And but I recommend it, and we're just going to go ahead and and I appreciate the cups too as well. I love it when y'all give away cups. It's a good. That's
always a good thing for our breweries.
Very good complimentary for the beers, especially and again the boxes. And I cannot say this enough for the artist who does this, or the digital designer for the beers or the brewery. Perfect. You should start your own comic books of the dead, because I would love to see all these stories. I'm sure they all have stories because obviously they're from actual stories, but fables. I was actually thinking about talking about fables, but
we just tapped that review.
We just tapped that review. I have not said that in a very long time.
But before you continue, hold that thought. I just wanna put a little pointer out there with how things are going right now. A lot of places are unfortunately closed. Then that includes breweries. They can't. Yes,
I seen brewery in Texas. Save the breweries in Texas.
Yeah, save Texas breweries. And not just Texas brewery. I mean, every brewery in general. They can't open up as good as they could. Some breweries are saying that they might not be able to make it the next 3 months or whatever.
Fuck, that's scary, man. Yeah, that is scary.
So wherever you are, whether you're in Texas, you're in another state, consider buying some local craft beers from your local breweries. Because we all drinking more in these times, so might as well help out your local breweries. So drink local,
drink locally, drink out. Don't go outside, don't spread nothing. But come on, they're literally making beers for us on this pandemic still, using what they have left over just to make ends meet. So for those people out there, I appreciate the beers y'all. I feel like we're always appreciating everybody out there, even obviously the essential workers, and I believe they're essential for me, because man, without beer, I don't know how I would have lasted this whole time. I guess I could, but it's funner with beer, and it's more, I feel like intellectually conversations come out of me more, if not sometimes very, very low quality content comes out of me too as well. Anyways, but save your breweries, buy what you can. Same goes for every other thing that's out there.
Yeah, support your local businesses.
Let's all support each other. But yeah, this freaking beer is awesome. I don't know, man. Like, I'm trying not to drink it hardcore. Like, it's sip by sip is where I'm trying to aim at with this.
Well, it is a sipping as all stouts should be.
And I wanted to chug it. Like, I just want to just chug it and just feel it. But I know I've done wrong in the past where I just go like that and I go full on hardcore in, and then I just mess myself up this whole time.
But what were you gonna say about Fables?
Oh, I forgot. But hey, Fable's coming out, the new game for Xbox One X. But that wasn't the case. It was something else. But basically, we are here. This is I haven't seen this guy. I haven't had you here since a very long time. I haven't had anybody since here. I think you were the last person to be here, weren't you? It was a very long time. He had his mask on, but I made him take it off.
Right here.
Yeah, because you can't really hear it. That's.
You could hear it, but then I wouldn't be able to drink the beer. So.
No, yeah, I'm starting to say you could hear it,
it scratches my beard.
It's something that I didn't want him to wear. So if he gets COVID, it's my fault. My bad. He won't get COVID, man. Look, we're 6 feet apart. We're only going to be here for a certain amount of time.
Well, we work together, and you're always with your mask off.
No, I'm not. I'm drinking coffee and eating food, but that doesn't mean anything. I followed the rules.
They made. I was telling them before we started. There's a new design of mask that a company is making that allows you to drink without exposing your mouth. I don't know how it works. I didn't really look into the article, but I'm like, man, a lot of people are really really being innovative, and things are being invented. I don't know.
Man, this beer is like so much stronger at the end. Like I took a big gulp, and damn, it's hitting me good. But like I keep like one thing about it though that I guess I didn't mention in the review. It does make me feel thirsty.
Well, it is a beer.
Well, there's some beers that make it just refreshes it. You're thirsty. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
It's just you.
It's just me.
But
so what do you have in your mind right now? Like I don't know. I have questions for you. I actually have things to talk about, but I'm curious to see.
What question do you have? Wow, what's going on in Portland? What's going on over there, guys? All those secret police. What's going on? It feels like a dystopian. It's like all of a sudden, it's like we moved. It was like the corona, then it was like the protest, and now it's like we're living in a dystopia. Well, I mean, not here, but like over there in Portland, all those undercover federal agents that are just taking people off the streets. Man, that's crazy.
That's scary. That's very scary. I mean, okay. I don't know, man. Like, I mean, yeah, it's.
It kind of feels like that's where they're trying to test it out and see if anybody freaks out, and if they can get away with it, they're like pushing it to the rest of the country. And then I'm like, man, that's scary.
Look,
like, what if we get some like secret police?
I am not for what the fuck what's happening there. But just to play the devil's advocate, right? Like I feel like there could be a way for them to do it not what they're okay. So they're basically just grabbing people and not saying who they are, and they just have police in the front. And I was talking to Emma about it, and I was like, what makes you think that? I mean, first of all, it's just gonna escalate shit a lot more quicker. Because then you're going to feel like the government's against you, so you're going to fight back. And that's not going to be good for the police that are actually just trying to, make everybody more civil, or, like, I guess.
Yeah, they already distrust the police, and there's already a lot of distrust with the police, and that's just going to make it even worse. And it's not even their fault this time, because they're not even the ones doing it. It's their federal agents, so it's coming straight from the top.
Yeah, and it basically overshadowed the government that's here on that state. So like, even the governor didn't want them there, right?
Yeah.
I think like and that's what kind of sucks, because even though what I'm speaking of is the federal agents, like they're just kind of forced to go there, and I'm like, and some of them are just there firsthand, so they're not used to what's been going on. So for them being like, oh, why are you talking shit to me? Like, bitch, I'm a federal agent, you know what I mean? Like, listen to me. But it's just been a chaotic situation. And now, well, my thing was with Emma was like, when we were talking about it, is that eventually one person is gonna get killed, either the agent or one of the protesters. Well, not even protester, just a person in general, because protesters, I know a lot of times they bunch them all up, like the rioters and everything. They put them all together as protesters. No, there's the peaceful protesters. There are the rioters and looters, and then there's the people who just want to support the protest, who are there just to give them water, whatever it is. And also there's people who are just generally going from home to work, or work to home. So, but like what I'm trying to say, the whole devil's advocate is like, if they were to do that, right, pick up people from the street and put them in the bus. Well, like, the thing at least give them a fucking dash cam, right, or a cam. So at least what's going on? What's
the reason? I mean, going against your devil's advocate.
I don't know. I'm just talking. My shit, devil's advocate is ridiculous, but I just whatever.
I mean, even know what devil's advocate means.
Yeah, it means play the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
But I'm even scared to play the other side, because I'm just like, what should I play the other side?
No, the thing is, the thing with that issue is that they're not doing anything. They're protesting, and they have a right to protest. So why are you getting them and detaining them for one of their rights? That's what, on top of the fact that they're unmarked and they're federal agents, they're arresting them for nothing. And that's another thing that's like causing strain on already a very volatile situation.
Well, the thing is too, like I said, like people on the other side to look in, right? Devil's advocate, the other federal government side of it is like, okay, well, you're just seeing what's happening in that moment. You don't know what happened beforehand. You don't know if that person was actually causing a scene. There's a lot of vandalism. Why was he there in this situation? Like, well, you know, well, I don't know. It's just I can't play devil's advocate because what I've seen it just doesn't make sense, you know. Well, and even then, if they just did arrest him, at least, like I said, have a dash cam or whatever, a cam like how cops, you know, normally have, and then state that, hey, you're being like, read the Miranda rights there, tell them that you're cops, because a lot of people could impersonate those specific people.
Yeah, you can get those vests
anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere.
Fuck, you can get those vests. That's one thing that concerns me the most is like a lot of people who have tactical shit could, you know, basically just say that, put a stamp on and say I'm a police, you know, like because that's all they have, police in the front, and you wouldn't know the difference. And even then, if you're a protester, you don't have. Well, I mean, I don't know who, but carries, right? So like, it's very difficult to, you know, just say, hey, you're not a cop, or because either you get shot, or I mean, it's just fear, you know, because like, what can you do? There's a guy with a fucking AR-15 gun saying, get in the van, like either if you shoot him, it's a cop, you know, then you're at fault. But then if you don't, and then there are actually people who are trying to get you, then you're dead, you know, or whatever happens to you, interrogated, or find out more people who are like you and take them down too. But because you seen people on the streets before the federals came in on other protesting areas, there's people who almost look similar to those federal agents without the police sign.
Oh yeah, the counter protesters.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they were also deployed like around, because Trump, everybody.
What about Trump?
My feelings about Trump. I mean, I think.
I mean, people have their feelings about him. I think I don't know. I don't care about him.
I think that he like used those federal agents to
spread fear.
No, to disband the protests around the White House.
You're talking about okay. So you're talking about the specific ones that happened in the protests a while back.
Yeah, and then I guess he moved it to Portland, which is kind of odd that he would pick Portland, but.
No, he wants to put those federal agents at New York and also California. I forgot what he says, but he goes, I'm not afraid. Oh, he goes, next we're looking at Chicago because it's bad there, and we're looking at New York. You know, if need be, since they're afraid to, you know, talk to stop with the protesting. Like, he's making it seem like the protesters are like a very, you know, big
threatening
thing.
Yeah.
Give me one sec. Keep talking.
Oh.
My pup's over here.
He's gonna go get his dogs. But anyways, yeah, I feel like they are using it as like at the test to see how much backlash they get, and if they see that there's not that much backlash, they'll spread it out. Cause you know, things are kind of hectic, and you know it is an election year. So, you know, that might also come into effect, that he's like trying to play up to his base, you know, because his base is very much.
Are you surprised that he's losing right now?
Some polls say he's losing, but
I don't know, man.
Look how wrong polls can get it, because
they were right from the
previous election.
They were right for like the part that they were supposed, like they were right national. I think it was nationwide. They were right nationwide, but they were wrong statewide.
Well, all the polls in the previous election had Hillary winning by like a lot, and look what happened. They were stuck with this dude, and so my thing is, I don't put a lot of trust. I don't really
go into politics, so I was kind of talking about love gurus that I want to talk about, but whatever.
We could continue after this.
I'm just saying, it's all good. It's just nice to have somebody here talking rather than me just throwing shit out there.
All I'm saying is that don't put your trust in polls, because that could also discourage a lot of people, because they're like, oh, the polls say Biden is winning. There's no point in me going, because he doesn't need my vote anymore, because a lot of people are voting for him. And what is that? What if that's the mentality of everybody else?
Speaking of voting, right?
I didn't vote. Yes.
That was your mentality. Well, I mean, it's a red state. Why even try? I mean, why not try? What do you have to lose? A vote? I mean, you're not already voting, so why does it matter if you vote?
I don't know. I'm just tired.
He wasn't. We were next door to the voting booths, literally next door, and we had the early voting and nobody was in line, so you could literally go in there and just vote within a minute. That's how long it took me to vote. A minute of my time to vote. A minute.
It wasn't.
So
it
people
wasn't,
who, and that's one thing too. People who say all this political stuff and they never vote. It's very hard.
It's not that I never vote. It's just I didn't vote in this one.
Vote in a specific reason, you know, like I said, federal stuff, scary stuff, right? They have money for that shit. Where's that money come from?
From what do you mean?
From well, the federal agents. Where's that money come from? Like
From
there's
taxpayers?
exactly. So, but we vote for that, right?
No, because that.
I mean, okay, not that federal agent, but I mean, you give me the police.
Our current this voting that happened in the area was for local things.
Yeah, no, local police.
And to extend or
the budget to 10 million over 10 years.
Which you know it passed, you know, because it was a bad slogan. Defund the police. Whoever came up with that, it was a bad slogan. Because as soon as you hear defund the police, you're gonna be like, oh crap. So
do you feel like slogans kind of fuck up a lot?
Yeah,
an actual. Because if you look at when I went to vote, right, and it was for that for the police funding, they were making it seem like it was this important thing.
It wasn't even for police funding. It was to extend the sales tax. The special sales tax, which they used to pay for some stuff of the police. That doesn't mean that the police was gonna lose all its budget.
But don't you think that the way they put it in paper makes it seem like a good thing, you know? But and like I said, that's like smoking mirrors, right? They put in that in front. So you can be like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's not all of it going to the police, you know? No, but then how do you not know? It's like, oh, dumbasses fell for it. Here's all the money, buddies.
Well, the thing is, they could have been like, oh, you know, to get rid of the sales tax. And nobody likes to pay taxes. That could have been a better way of saying, oh, instead of defund the police, it could have been like, oh, lower taxes. That would have had a...
that's good. But another thing is like, well, I mean... Then they're going to be like, why vote for it? It's not a big deal. I pay taxes. I pay low tax. It's just... Defund the police, I think you're right. It's a very bad... You know, I mean, it's a good thing what the initial want, but it's a bad slogan. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know what to do because, like, I mean, I guess the solution. What would be your solution? The slogan of it. You said right.
Yeah.
What was it?
What do you mean?
What was your slogan?
Lower taxes.
Okay.
Because that budget was tied to a tax thing that they passed way back in the 90s to help combat rising crime rate in Texas. And they so to help with that, they added an extra sales tax to stuff you buy, and that extra sales tax was going to help with the police and all that stuff. But now that we're gonna see if they needed to extend it for another 10 years or to just let it cancel, and it was just gonna take away parts of it. They could have that sales tax that money could have gone to, like, I don't know, like education.
A lot of it could have gone to education,
the infrastructure or whatever. But I just
look. Well, it could have, my slogan, even though I just came up with it now, it could be spread the money. I don't know, like equality, tax equality or something, just where everybody gets a cut regardless. But not the majority goes to what it's already being overfunded.
Well,
I mean, but then again, like it's just a lot of shit, because I'm sure higher people who are rich and have rich areas, they're like, well, we love the police because they're taking care of where our areas are at. But I mean, obviously, because
that doesn't necessarily.
But do you see? I don't know. I mean, now I see. Oh, I don't know, because there's not that many police in the hoods.
There is.
You see them. Well, I mean, I guess urban areas, but you know what I mean. Like, when I see police in those areas, it's the same ones that are normally there, kind of situation. But if you go in the richer neighborhoods, you just see like every store has their own police, or every store has their own security and this and that. But you go to the urban areas, there's like this one guy in a cart or like golf cart just driving around, and he's over there just smoking weed with everybody else.
Well, I've never seen that. So
I mean, I worked at I'm not gonna say which store it was, but I worked at a store where he hit on all the girls, and
but that's a security guard. He's not a police officer.
But I'm saying, like, it's like, oh yeah,
they can't really arrest you. I mean, yeah, they can detain you and then hold you while the police comes, but they're not actually police. They're private security.
They can detain you, but they could try.
They can hold you but they can't detain you. Yeah, I didn't vote. I didn't vote in this. Sometimes it's a little hard because we are living. Texas, it is a red state, so sometimes it's a little hard.
Man, I bashed on people who
and then you get a little discouraged sometimes.
I mean, obviously, but that's kind of what that's.
But I
like butts, yes.
Going back to polls, which like I said, don't put too much faith on it. But anyways, going back to polls, there was a higher Democratic turnout in these past local elections for the Fort Worth area. Which, if anybody is local to the Fort Worth area, Fort Worth and Dallas are kind of they're sister cities, but they're kind of like rivals, because Fort Worth is more.
I forgot why.
Fort Worth is more conservative, and Dallas is the more liberal of the two cities. So, but there was a higher increase of Democrats coming out in the Fort Worth area.
It flipped, right?
It didn't flip. It just there was more turnout than Republicans in these local elections, and they're saying that some people are thinking that might foreshadow for the elections in November, that might make Texas a battleground state. So they could, maybe flip the state to blue. But hey, you never know. But it's pretty hardcore red. But if we get it, maybe purple, I'm okay with that.
But what does purple do?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's like it's in the mid area, mid-grade area, but there's not anything in. It's like, okay, I agree, I disagree, but there's nothing getting done. It's just one specific thing. I mean, I get what you're trying to say. It's nice.
Purple means that the Republicans don't have a stranglehold on things. Like there's more.
It's neutral.
No, there's more Democrats in the state, government and in the federal government, which I think the only federal. I don't know if there's any representative. I'm sure there's some representatives that are gonna be up for re-election on.
Isn't Cruz up for re-election
No,
again?
he won it last time, so it's the other senator.
Yeah, Beto fucking lost it.
Yeah, it's the other
senator. That was stupid. Did you vote? You didn't vote for that, did you?
I voted for Beto.
Oh, okay.
Beto. Which I think he should have. He should have
ran for Senate again.
Yeah, he should have run for the other guy, because the other guy is not as popular as Cruz is, which is still, I mean, it's saying a lot. He's not really that popular, but anyway.
I mean, I don't know. I that.
But anyways, things are crazy out there with politics. I think we talked to politics enough. We don't want to make the people fall asleep, so let's continue on to
I mean, I think they already shut down the fucking podcast. And they're gone.
Sometimes it's nice to hear some intellectual talk instead of some weird.
I mean, I don't know if it was intellectual, but I mean, it was just a conversation. Yeah. I mean, okay, so like the whole porn thing, when you were talking about it, damn, there was in that moment I had some topics that I weren't I had something to add on to it, but I forgot about it, so we move on forward. So there's one thing that I was talking to him about, right? We were having a discussion yesterday. He goes, well, I guess I'm gonna ask you this question, right? Do you think it's a bad thing to let cultural stuff go away? I mean, sorry. Man, see, that's why it's hard to bring topics up that I talk to with somebody else, because I feel like I'm not giving it justice where it doesn't make sense. But basically, right, is it a bad thing to not do your culture or leave culture behind? Like, is it bad to not to be cultural? I guess I don't know how to fucking phrase this question. Your right?
Dogs are chewing through my shoes.
Yeah.
Can you?
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I can do that. I'm just gonna say this real quick. I'm not screaming at them, but hey, come here. Hey, come here.
It's mostly your puppy, not the other one.
I know, but the other one wants to come in with me. But anyways, we just don't kick her, but push her a little bit with your feet. There you go. She's like, what the fuck?
I think the things I'm playing with. But anyways, go continue with your culture.
So basically, do you believe is it a bad thing to leave cultural stuff behind or cultural behind? Like, for instance, if you're raised a Mexican Catholic and then you're just like, I don't want to do that stuff. Quinceañera stuff. I don't want to do that stuff. This and that. Is it a bad thing for you to do that? Like, is it a negative thing? And also, do you think it's also mixed in with tradition? I don't know. I mean, damn it. I the way he phrased the question made a lot of sense. But yeah, do you think it's a bad thing to just drop culture?
No, I don't think it's a bad thing. Some people just don't relate to their culture. I mean, that's not a fault on them. It's just that it's not something that they connect to. I mean, you're not tied to the culture that you're born with. I mean, that's the wonderful thing about life. You get to explore other cultures. You get to explore different lifestyles than the one you grew up with or the one that you're used to. And if you like another one and you want to leave the old one behind, that's fine. I mean, you're not tied to your culture. And if you're like, hey, I don't want to, I never related to my Mexican background or my Hispanic background. I prefer more, I like Japanese culture. I like some other culture, Greek, Mediterranean, Spanish culture. I feel I'm gravitate more towards that. That's fine. I mean, you shouldn't be faulted for it. I mean, I feel a lot of people, when they see like other people of their same culture turn away or like do something else, that gives like they bash them. They're like, oh, you're turning your back against your people. I'm like, no, why does it have to be like that? I mean, you're not turning your back on your people. You just find something else that more suits you. I mean, it's you're the person. You're not defined by your culture. You're defined by by who you are. And if it's not what you were brought up with, then that's fine.
I think my response to him when he asked me that, I was like, I don't think it's a bad thing, but I do understand why people do the culture stuff. Like for instance, a lot of times it's like because it reminds you of your mom and dad. It reminds you how you used to be when you were younger, and you want to show that same stuff to your kids. You're like, oh, I remember back then we used to cook out every Sunday morning, or the quinceañera. Like you just want them to, like, culture is something that's for me. I say it's not nostalgic, but also culture updates too. Because nowadays quinceañera, people don't expect a 15-year-old to be a woman at that time, because that's whenever they consider them a woman, right?
I mean, the culture is that they're a woman. They're grown. I guess
obviously
they're
obviously
they're
woman,
15. You're not gonna
they're teenagers still, but
yeah.
And they're in the culture, it's you're a woman. But I mean,
it's the same thing in Jewish tradition. The bat mitzvahs and the bar mitzvahs. That's when that's when you become a man, and that's when you become a woman, and the same. I don't know if you would. I don't know if I would say the same thing about Sweet 16. I think that's more because I don't think.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's just a party. Yeah, a big huge party, like a celebration.
A celebration, which is kind of odd that they would put it at 16 because it's such a random number.
Yeah, it is a random number.
But I mean, you could say the same thing about 15. So.
But then again, if you put it Sweet 18, it's like you're an adult, buy your own shit. Sweet 16, you're still a kid.
What's so sweet about 16? I mean, when I was 16, it wasn't very sweet.
Oh, I lost my virginity when I was 16. 17 or 16. It's been a while. Yeah, but I mean, that was sweet 16. No, I think it was 16. Yeah. But for me, I think also.
And it's just for girls. There's no like.
There's some
no
Mexicans who have quinceañeros. My mom was
very
rare.
Very rare.
She asked me, "Do you want one?" I was like, "Oh, that'd be pretty fun." I was like, "Nah, that's cool." I said no, but she offered me to do one, and I just didn't. I don't know.
It's very rare. You don't see it happen very often, and see, that goes to show you. I mean, some of these, like he said, evolve the tradition. Some of these traditions are kind of.
But see, right?
Old school.
Do you think culture and tradition are intertwined in some ways?
Well, I mean, it's pretty much the same. I mean, I would say it's the same thing. Culture and tradition.
Because tradition is like it's like going to your dad going to a softball game. Culture is more like a Mexican heritage, where whatever heritage.
Yeah, I guess that's
came
true.
Back.
That's true. It makes and I guess you could. Yeah, I guess they are kind of tied, kind of tied together.
Because the tradition for me would be like, okay, listen to my mom in the morning playing Mexican music while she cleans. It's a tradition for her to do that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of also stereotypical for some people.
Yeah, it's very, very Hispanic-esque.
Yes,
in
but
culture.
that's a tradition in my mom's family, because that's what my grandma used to do. But it's not a cultural thing, because it's not necessarily everybody does it.
Well, not necessarily, but so when does it stop being a tradition just for you and it becomes part of the culture? Because not everybody does it, but a lot of people do it, so it's become ingrained. Yeah, it's become pretty ingrained in like, oh, Hispanic household, oh, you got used to every Saturday morning.
Or yeah, all y'all do is eat beans and rice and shit like that, or pork.
Hey, what's wrong
Manteca.
with that?
I love manteca. You don't you don't eat manteca.
I don't
love
either, because
manteca.
that doesn't leave your body. It clogs up your
At least your body tasting good.
your arteries, and that stays there for life.
Not if you're right.
No, it stays there for life.
Fuck you. Because I have a lot of clogged arteries. That's why I have high cholesterol.
But anyways, no, I don't think that you should be faulted for not liking or not
continuing the culture.
Yeah, but you know, it would be nice to see some of the culture evolve with the times.
Because one example of the culture evolving, and this is probably just my family or maybe other families, but the man never leaves a woman regardless if they cheated or this and that. You're always forced to stay with the wife, right? And even the wife stay with the father. And most Hispanics, where I'm not, and I guess I'm generalizing, right? But most of the culture where we're from is that they don't leave their husbands, even if it's like the toughest things. And I feel like now it has evolved. We're like, no, fuck that. If he cheats on me or this and that, I'm taking the kids, or you know.
Well, it depends on the situation, because
obviously you can work things out, and if you could do it, that's great. But
because I've seen a lot of Hispanic people get divorced. I mean, it's not
now, but I'm saying back then, like before our parents, for my parents, like they went through
the thing
shit.
Is I don't. It's different in my case, because you know your parents were married. My mom wants I don't want to use the word to describe my mom, because I love my mom, but you know, she was a side action, I guess you could say.
She was the other woman.
Yes.
You're not just say side action. That was even worse. You should have just said the other.
Well, because my dad had quite a few other women, so it's kind of weird. It's a different perspective.
Wait, I have a curious question now. So, if your mom was the other woman, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you were born, that was obviously, I would say, unintentional.
No, because my mom wanted kids, and my dad, he didn't want any kids because he already had a whole bunch of them with his actual wife, and who knows how many others with his other
escapades,
women.
Yes.
Yeah, and so he didn't want any more kids, but my mom wanted kids because, you know, that was her dream to have kids, so like, fine, whatever. And so she had my brother, and he's all like, that's it, you know, that's all.
Okay.
That's it. And so but my mom always wanted 2 boys, to be specific. She always wanted 2 boys.
Okay, could go.
And so there was a second brother, which unfortunately was a miscarriage. So there was one between me and my brother, which technically, if he would have lived, technically I wouldn't have existed, because they would have stopped at that one. But unfortunately, she did miscarriage, and he passed away. And then so I came along later on, and I guess you could say I was kind of a surprise, because I guess I don't think they were planning on having the third, or my mom having. She was hoping that she would get pregnant again, but I guess, you know, it wasn't something that was planned. So I guess you could say I was a surprise.
Accident?
Surprise.
Okay, surprise sounds better, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think after a while, your dad's like, he's like, well, I mean, she's taking care of both of them, so I don't have to worry about it, kind of situation.
Well, he did play child support, so that, you know, there's a lot of mixed feelings between me and my dad, Yes, I did meet him.
This just got real, bro. This got real.
It did get real. But anyways, I did meet him. So, he was in my life until I was 3, and then he just, as most dads do. And
I don't know. My dad's still home. My dad's still there. So.
As some dads do.
I mean, I don't know if it's a good thing sometimes, but I just like.
But he did pay for child support, which is one of the things that I kind of am grateful, because he didn't have to pay, because at the time my mom was technically illegal, so he didn't have to pay. And and when my mom and him were fighting it out for child support, the judge even straight up told them, you're like, hey, you don't have to deal with this. If you want, I'll just call immigration. We'll throw her back to Mexico. Like, you don't have to deal with this. And he said, no. So I'm glad, and I commend him for not doing that, because he could have just washed his hands and be done with it. Like, yeah, just call immigration. Throw her back in Mexico. But he didn't.
Is he white?
No, he's Hispanic.
Oh, okay.
So, but he was a
second generation or something.
No, he was a resident. He was
okay.
He was already a resident. But my mom was not, and so that's something that I still commend him for, because he didn't have to do that. But
well, he did. So luckily, yeah.
And I blew all that money away. And you all know the story.
Hey, at least he had a good story from it. It's a really crazy, stupid story, but it's a story nonetheless.
Yeah, and if you get listeners don't know the story, go back to my first episode. I think it's called El Pepe. I told that story how I blew that money away tragically.
Was it tragically though? You learned a valuable lesson.
I did.
I mean, it was a stupid way to learn it, but you learned a valuable lesson.
I mean,
yes. I mean, I had a question, but I don't know how serious or how deep.
I mean, that's the question.
Okay,
this is the tap house. When you come to the tap house, you
open a tap.
Yeah.
Or a tab. Tabs.
Whether it's with beers or with your emotions.
Well, did your mom ever find somebody else, or she just stopped?
She did. I had a stepdad for a long time. He passed away as well from drinking too much. I
swear to God, I mean, we're not even in the right minds, because I mean, we're in the right. We're not supposed to be doing this. My uncle passed away. My other uncle went to rehab.
Well, I mean,
my dad was close to death because of drinking.
Yeah, but everything in moderation. I mean,
that's what we say now.
Yeah,
I've never drank stouts in my entire life, and now I'm into super dark and alcoholic beers, and now I'm like, I can't drink less than this.
Yeah, but it's not like every single day we're kicking back like a 12 pack or a 24 pack every day.
You turn the camera around, you see a Michelob in the corner of the bed over there.
Yeah, but no, this is how he was. Like he
it's
would
straight liquor.
No, he would drink beer.
Oh, no,
and it was like multiple 24 packs, and what's it called, caguamas,
that's what my dad drank. A caguama in the morning, a caguama during lunch for his after work, a caguama during food. It's water for him. He just drank it like water.
What would be the English equivalent to a caguama?
24 ounce, I think, right?
24, is it?
I think it's a 24 ounce.
It's a 40.
A 40.
40. There we go.
40.
40. So he would drink a lot of those, and he would just he would pop the trunk of his car. He didn't drive, but he had a car.
Well, my dad would always drink and drive.
Oh, well, he didn't.
Like, he had a caguama in his hand.
No, he didn't know. He
was good at driving. I don't know how I did it. He obviously doesn't do it no more. It's been a long time, but it was hard for us to tell him, dude, like, if you get pulled over, you're fucked,
Well, I don't mean like he didn't drive because he was drinking. He didn't drive because he didn't know how to drive.
That's odd.
I mean, he was from a different time. He didn't have to drive a lot, and he always had somebody that would drive him, so he didn't.
But he never had that. Oh, I want to drive.
No, he was actually scared of driving. That car technically wasn't his; it was his daughter's. But his daughter had already moved out, and so he kept the car. But he had like those ginormous subwoofers,
Oh man, the 15s, 10s. Yeah, I love that. I mean, I got Jack.
And so he would pop the trunk and he would just blast out corridos and just get drunk.
I never understood. Okay, sorry for those out there that I don't listen to corridos. There's some songs that are really good that I like just because I like to hear the stories, but I like to hear it when I'm with family, like who hears those stuff and like hanging out outside drinking a beer. I understand that feeling of it, but like jamming out to ourselves by myself, unless it's like a love song or like something that relates to me, then yeah, I'll drink beer. I don't know.
And I can relate to what we're talking about, the culture. I mean, that's a very cultural thing. For Mexicans, I believe it is.
I don't know if it's corridos. Corridos, I don't think it's cultural. I know. It's
corridos and like norteñas and stuff like that.
I would say like more like if you say cultural, corridos is like, okay, it's recent. Well, I don't know recent, but it's
not very recent.
It's not very recent, but it's not older than other stuff. You get me? Like Vicente. If you say Vicente or corridos, who's the higher cultural there? It's Vicente, right?
Yeah, but there was corridos before that.
I guess it evolved into that.
Well, there was corridos before Vicente.
Oh yeah, but what do you want? But the cultural aspect of it, who would triumph over the other?
The corridos, because I think the corridos were. Because corridos, for
question out there for the corridos.
Yeah,
who triumphs more, Vicente or corridos? Like, who would be the one that wins in the battle of like cultural in Mexico? Who wins, Vicente or corridos? Like, who would you want to hear if you want to hear a song with your boys? Okay, fucking corridos probably be the one, but
yeah, because you're getting drunk with your boys.
It's more cultural. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think he's more cultural. I think he's just more of an icon of him.
But like that's part of the culture. Corridos, I feel like it's more tradition. Like you go with your boys and do things.
No, because corridos they tell a story for our people that don't know what a corrido is.
There's a story.
It's like a story done to a song. It's like a song. It's like a story song, and it could be about an event. It could most of them are about somebody of a person, like a desperado or something like that, and
also like crossing the border and things like that. Like I love those ones. I think and obviously some infamous songs too, also about cartels also as well.
Yeah, that's what I feel is more of a more recent thing of corridos pertaining to cartels. I think that's more of a recent thing.
Yeah, probably.
But I feel like corridos have their basis like of I guess as storytelling, like how different cultures have their way of storytelling.
It's very emotional. It's a very emotional song, way of singing things.
It depends on the song.
Because I think one of them, I forgot which one it was. Calibras. Fuck. See, like I said, I'm not a big corridos fan, so I can't really.
I'm not either.
Go into that too much. Like if whoever is and does like corridos, I mean, you're more than welcome to come on and tell me the whole fucking thing, and I'll be like, oh, that's cool. Because I'm an open-minded person. I listen to a lot of music, but like corridos, I don't listen to it by myself unless it's like if I come across it and I find it really cool, or if I find it relatable. And I like the beat to it because I know some beats are
some beats are pretty cool.
Some beats are really great, and I'm like, damn, like yeah.
When you're in the mood to listen to some old school stuff, it's just
like I said, when you're with your boys, you're just like, fuck yeah, this is it. You know what I mean?
Which is weird because back in the day it was me and my boy, like back
me and my boy,
we were my boys. My only boys are this guy and Mr. Polo. I don't know if he still listens.
I fucking doubt it.
But anyways, back when I was back in my youngin years, we didn't do that. We didn't jam out to corridos or anything like that. I
mean, it was obviously like a whole bunch of like,
which is odd because I'm from a border town, so you would think that would be like our thing, but
maybe because you were that one guy that didn't want to go by the trend, so you were doing the whole opposite of it.
Well, I mean, not necessarily, because my crew, we were like a mismatch of things. Like it was like we had like a goth, we had like a preppy guy, we had like a sporty dude, a jock. So it was like,
and you had one of those whole guys, those whole friends that always got the girls. Everybody has that group.
Me right here. I'm just kidding.
Everybody who has a group of friends always has that one guy that fucks everybody, or either is a player's player.
Yeah.
And I feel like
it was you.
No. I don't. I mean, in this day and age where my friends at now,
we all know your fuckboy years.
I used to be a fuckboy-ish. No, I wasn't. I wasn't as bad as one of my friends that I used to really hang out with a lot. He hit the 100 mark girls banging like when he was 20. I wasn't even close. I'm not even close at all.
Man,
Still,
man,
I mean, I don't even know why would you want to go to that high.
I know. I mean, I would think once you get past a certain number, it just feels
I don't
like
want to go higher.
A chore or like, oh, whatever.
It's just another number.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You're not even enjoying it, or I don't know. I mean, I don't
maybe
speak
you
from
are.
experience. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Do you, buddy? You know, if you're having fun.
Any fuckboys out there when they comment below, be like, "Fucking loser, you loser. You don't know what you're missing out." But I don't know.
Go. So before we end the episode, because we're almost an hour mark, right?
That's right. Yeah. You have a limit now.
I don't have a limit, but I have a limit when it comes to the video camera.
Isn't that an hour and a half?
It's an hour and 20 minutes, I think.
Okay.
But I mean, you can keep going now, but I'm just.
No, we can start wrapping topics down.
Yeah, well, you already finished your beer, so I don't think.
Yeah, I know.
This
was delicious, by the way.
I'm right behind you.
Very, 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 very recommended. I believe out of all of their.
Give me the beer.
This?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna stack it up. Actually, never mind. I need to take a picture of these fuckers.
Yeah, but out of all of the ones we've tried so far, this one has skyrocketed right up to the top. Because before, it was I really like Dulce. Dulce was my favorite, but this one, it was real good.
Mine was Caro, but then it was also the Thunder Hug, but not from Mario's Brewery.
But I'm only talking about Mario House because you can't group them with Thunder Hug, man. But anyways, just Martin House. If
for some reason, if I have a Patreon, right, and if I'm able to buy all these beers again and try them all over again and see revisit them, man, I would love to do that and just drink. You know, I would be fucked up.
I mean, I don't think you can get them get them again. I mean,
some. I know Thunder Hug, you probably could.
I don't know about that.
Well, I'm seeing them every once in a while.
Yeah, but yeah,
you're right. It's just like a one-time.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, definitely check it out. It's a really, really good one. And Martin House, if you're listening, bring it back for a fourth one. It could be a quad instead of a three-peat. We can go for a quad peat.
Quad.
But yeah.
I want to say like how. Sorry, never mind. But yeah, I was talking to Em about that, like cultural wise. So like finishing with the topic of cultural, I'm like, it just depends. Like if you have kids, you know, if you don't want, because he doesn't want to teach him that. He doesn't want to teach him religion either. Like he doesn't believe in all that stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's his. I mean, we all know him and his religious views.
But I told him like, okay, I understand it. It's gonna be. I think I go. Wouldn't you want your kids to just like choose if they want to go ahead and be involved in that stuff? Because if they go to quinceañera parties, when you go to like a rosario, they're gonna feel awkward and weird. Like, Dad, why are we here? It's just fucking weird. But during those times, it's whenever he used to hang out with family and friends. You know what I mean? I'm like, you're kind of pushing them away from that. Like, why don't you just let them try things out if they want to?
I think it's coming more of the religion. I think with religion and the Hispanic culture specific, I mean,
it's tied very well together.
It's very tied to the culture and tradition. Because even if you're not very religious or a hardcore Catholic, you're gonna do some Catholic things out of just tradition. Like, you know, everybody has seen the cars with the rosaries on the rear view mirror. You know, that's more out of tradition than that you believe is protecting. Yeah, you kind of believe it's protecting, but it's tradition. You grow up with it. You saw your dad's truck or your dad's car, or your mom's car, your parents' cars with it wrapped around. Like, oh, I'm gonna put it with mine too, and so religion is very much tried to specifically with, you know, Mexican Hispanic culture. It's very traditional, I believe. I may be wrong, you know, don't come at me, guys, but
I mean, right behind you I have the Ash Wednesday crosses that they make out of the little
the palms.
Yeah,
I got that over my bed too.
And look, I don't even care about it. No, I do care about it, but it's because like family and things like that. And but I have every and that's a tradition also in a cultural. Every frame of Christ. No, sorry. Every frame of a picture of Christ, a rosario, a cross, anything like that. Promise you, everybody who has it inside their household has been baptized. Even there's no such thing as buying a frame and not baptizing it. You have to baptize anything that has to be related with, with Jesus.
What he means by baptize, it doesn't mean.
It doesn't mean dips in the fucking water, but
he means it's been blessed.
Blessed, yeah, sorry.
By a priest.
See, that's the fucked up thing. I thought it was baptized. That's all, just whatever. Anyways, it's been blessed by a priest.
Yeah, I can attest to that. Any religious artifact in a Hispanic household has been blessed by a priest.
Yeah, there's no such thing as like even if you bought it and they ask you, they will ask you, have you taken it to your priest yet? Have you taken it to your priest yet?
Yeah.
You should go this Sunday. You should go this Sunday. You should go take it. They're doing blessing this weekend. You should go for it.
It's kind of like if it hasn't been blessed, it's still nothing.
And I will say this far: if you're Mexican, right, and you don't have anything in your house that's blessed, you're not Mexican.
No.
I'm sorry, you're not.
You know, I've done it too, because I have a lot of things in my car and that I carry in my wallet that I've gotten blessed too, because I'm like, it just feels wrong if it's not blessed.
I mean, like I said, it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
If your grandma told you, mijo, carry this with you, carry la Virgen de Guadalupe, la Virgen de San Juan, do all this stuff, carry all this thing, you know, you'll be blessed, this and that. This thing is blessed. I'm assuming it is.
Yeah, but you carry it more for something else than for its religious representation.
It's bullshit. But yes. But yeah, no, like things like that. Like it's just, like, I used to have also like the what's it called? The ones that have those squares. And it's like
escapulario.
Yeah, I never knew what that was, but I used to have that around too. But
yeah, they tried to get me into that, and it bugged me. I couldn't do it, so that's why I don't wear it. It's kind of for the people that don't know what it is. It's kind of like a necklace that has like this. It's made out of cloth. The whole thing is made out of cloth, and it's got like this a little picture of whatever saint that you're devoted to on the front and the back. So you wear it with you always.
It protects you and all that stuff. I'll put a link or a picture up here. This whole video, I'm gonna have to go through it and edit everything specifically, and I'm gonna have to hear this podcast like very thorough.
Which just to have, because it needs to be up by tomorrow.
Well, the audio is regardless. It's gonna be up regardless.
Oh,
but
yeah,
the video,
that's right. That's the video.
The video is gonna be more the difficult part, but I don't have a little intro, so it's fine. So it's easier to edit this time. But yeah. Also, by the way, we're 6 feet apart technically. Probably 5 feet, but we're there, you know.
Hopefully. Well, I mean, I work with him very close spaces at work, and hopefully you have not been out.
Oh, I've been out running. That's about it. That's it. Yeah, I've just been running lately. Damn, that sucks. I haven't done anything else. Man, God, I don't know. Look, we could end it with by our predictions. What do you think is gonna happen this fall? Do you think it's gonna get less, worse,
it's all gonna go to hell?
Yeah.
Because you know you also are gonna have the flu, so it's gonna be two
and
things.
And the flu's worse.
Well, I mean, it's not worse.
Well, I mean, they're saying it's worse, but at least we know the symptoms of the flu. But then it's also the same thing.
Yeah. So it's just gonna be worse. It's gonna be a whole royal mess, royal fuck fest.
We're gonna have overtime though. I feel like that's when we're gonna have to stay more longer.
No, I don't feel like. I feel like we're as far as we're reopened now is as far as we're gonna be.
Well, I mean, unless people protest their fucking fast face mask wearing, because he said if it gets worse, he's gonna shut it down again.
He says that, but I mean,
well, he said I'm not gonna shut down because of fuck everybody else like COVID.
He also said we're not gonna shut down anything else.
And then he shut
down the bars.
Yeah. But that's one of the main causes. I think it's a bar because you're inside and you're socializing and you're consistently opening your mouth and whatnot. And then also, yes, some part of it does protesting too as well.
And plus, I know some people are pissed off on how bars, because there's a bar association that sued the Texas governor and Texas in general, because and then of course there's some bars that are opening up against the order not to open, because hey, freedom is America, whatever. And I understand where they're coming from, because they're like, hey, why are we being singled out? And I get it. If you're gonna shut down the bars, it should be shut down restaurants too. Everything else, it should be straight up across the board.
Well, that's one thing is like restaurants. If as long as it's patio, you don't have to wear your mask, right? Is that what it is?
You don't have to wear your mask while you're eating, and it's I think
there's some
the
breweries.
limit is 10 people per table.
Because what I was thinking about the Mar House Brewery, because they have a patio outside, or like they have a whole.
No, but they can't open if their sales, if 51% of their sales come from alcohol sales, they're considered a bar and they can't open. That's how some bars are able to open, because
it's more food.
They found a loophole that we sell food too, and that accounts for more of our alcohol sales. So that's how they are able to open, while breweries and bars are not. Which I feel, it sucks. They shouldn't have, rebelled and sued everybody, because that never helps anybody. But I understand where they're coming from. I feel when the governor said, I'm gonna shut down the bars, he should have shut down everything. The bars, the restaurants, just how it was back in April and March. And he should have gone right back to that.
Give that stimulus check second round for the.
Well, I mean, that comes from the federal.
Yeah, I mean, they should go. I mean,
level.
they should. I heard they're doing it.
I mean, they've been saying that since.
They're gonna do it.
Since June.
It's gonna happen, but I don't know if it's gonna be the same amount. I think it's gonna be the same.
It's gonna be the same, but
I'm gonna put that bitch in my credit card.
All of it went to my car.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we don't need it. Yeah, we don't need it.
Hey,
but we do in some ways.
For all those people that are out there saying, "Oh, you say Trump's not your president, so why are you taking his money, bitch? I'm gonna take that money anytime I don't see you guys returning your baby daddy's money back, huh?
My grandpa literally, because he's a citizen also here, but he lives in Mexico. He got the stimulus check. He goes, I'm still wasting Trump's money right now. Like, I'm still wasting it. I used that money to fix my ranches, my tractors and stuff. Like, I wasted all that, and I still have enough money left over for buy beers. Like, dang, grandpa.
It ain't coming from Trump. It's coming from Congress, man.
Yeah.
Just because he signed the checks doesn't mean it came from him. All right.
Again, we're in a good situation where we could waste the money. What the fuck you want to waste?
Yeah.
it?
So, this is coming from, as they say, first world problems. But, my prediction is we're in for a hell of a crap storm.
And that's also evolving the whole election during that time.
Yeah.
So imagine that election and flu season and corona all at the same time.
So
get ready, bitches. It's gonna get crazy.
So we'll see where America is in a couple of months. But man,
that beer, one beer itself, gave me feeling good.
Yeah.
Got me feeling good.
It always feels good. But just so we ended on a high note, just because we're predicting a crappy fall and winter, hey, it doesn't mean you need to get discouraged. Okay, life goes on. I mean, people survived the Black Death, and that was 10 times worse. So just keep on trucking, and remember, there's always a little good around every corner. So don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just support the fucking breweries. Breweries in Texas are suffering. People who everybody who's suffering, just help each other out. I'm broke. I'm fine, but the brewery people help them out. Yeah, I should have just stopped it there. Anyways, y'all have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.